how you doing? Luke here, coming with another video for you today. And today is a very special day because today marks my 1 year anniversary of learning or starting to learn jazz guitar. And to be specific, swing jazz, jazz manouche, gypsy jazz, as many people call it. And yeah, it's just 1 year ago I've decided to pick up this jazz manouche guitar and started on a journey of trying to learn the style. And I must say, it's a really difficult style, really difficult to get into, and yeah, just a really interesting fact is that throughout my first whole year of practice, I've meticulously recorded all the data, all my practice data, all my practice hours. Nice, I'm recording. I'm recording the audio. I've meticulously recorded my practice hours. I've written it all down, so I know my total amount of practice hours in my first year. So let's get a little bit of a drum beat. I have practiced in my first year of jazz. I've practiced 335 hours and 15 minutes. So that comes around at a daily average of 0.92 hours, which is like 55 minutes. So let's say 1 hour. Let's just round off. It's around 1 hour, so it could be more than that. It could be, like I said, it's around 1 hour. So 1 hour of an average of daily practice of 1 hour is not too shabby, actually. Granted, I could do better. But I'm really pleased with that in my first year, because first year is, of course, very difficult. It's just when you do the most dull exercises, really. So, but in my first year of practice, I've noticed 5 key elements that were really fundamental for my growth as a guitar player in the style. Of course, I'm still very much learning, but I think I've made some decent progress in my first year, and I wanted to share with you like the 5 key fundamental things to focus on when practicing in your first year as a beginner. Because I think if someone told me this in my first year, or when I started, it would really be beneficial, right? Because I have made some decent progress. So let's start. And these are top 5, but this is in non-hierarchical order. Non-hierarchical order, they're all equally as important. They're all intertwined and intermingled, so to say. So okay, and that brings me to my first point, which is I recommend you to get some quality education, right? You need to get some quality online education, and it will drastically boost your capacity to learn, your progress as well, and of course it will be much less frustrating, and I will tell you why. Because a lot of people skip over this part, because it's very easy to skip over this part, because you can say, well, I can just watch online YouTube videos. There's a lot of content out there about jazz and how to learn jazz, and well, we live in the internet generation, like in the internet digital age. I can just search all the topics that I want on the internet and have someone explain it to me. Well, I don't really think that's a really good way to do it, because when you don't know anything about jazz, it's really difficult to pinpoint exactly what you need to learn and where to find it and in which chronological order, because there's a lot of content on YouTube. Like, it's just an absolutely enormous amount of videos on this topic. And well, how you're just going to waste time, because that's the mistake that I made. I just watched a lot of random videos, and some of them aren't really quality. They're not good enough exactly. They don't give you a lot of information, or they don't give you the right information, or just it's above your skill level, and you're just gonna trust me, you're just going to get frustrated trying to look up all these videos and just trying to make sense of how to play jazz. You're just wasting a lot of time, and that's also a critique I have, is that every human, when learning every person that is trying to learn a new skill, for instance jazz music, everyone has I'm giving up limits, I call it. So you can only bear so much nonsense or so much trying to just wade your way through all this information that at a certain moment when you just had enough, when you're just too frustrated or it becomes too difficult, you're just going to say, well, I'm just going to skip this session, I'm not going to practice. You're just going to give up at last, finally. So that is why you need some educational, because education, I mean, because with an educational, like in this book, I've bought. Careful not to open it, because otherwise I'm gonna get like, it's not my intellectual property, right? I know how that works. But I have bought Van Hemert's system for like €50. It's like super affordable, of course. And in this book, or I don't know, there are other guitarists on YouTube like Dennis Chang, Robert Nolan. You can get different programs, right? That the good thing about these programs is when you start learning jazz, it is really dull. All the things you need to learn are really boring, like arpeggios and scales, because you need to learn what to play on, of course, a minor chord and of course a major chords. Well, a major chord. You need to learn what to play, right? Or on a dominant 7 chords. And that is just you need to wade through all this. You need to be like a sponge and soak up as much information as possible in your first year. And that's just way easier with a book, because you can just, even when you don't feel like practicing because it's really dull and boring in the beginning, you can just throw up the book, oh, here's all the tab, I just need to learn this. It's really handy to know what to focus on. So you also always have a goal. Instead, when you just arbitrarily look up videos on YouTube, you just don't really know what you're doing. So yeah, that is definitely a pro tip of mine. Get some education. It really helps you. And when you go through the book, you just know what sort of arpeggios, what sort of scales you need to play on different chord sequences, on different type of chords like major, minor, or dominant 7, on diminished chords, you know, the diminished scale. You know, all these different types of like scales and arpeggios, because you practice them so much and you can really zone in, and it's just really more time efficient is what I'm trying to say. So that is my second tip, consistency, and it ties in with your education. Now, that leads me to my third point, which is practice slowly with a metronome. You need to practice very slowly, always with a metronome. And because I think I saw a video of Christian van Hemert, and in his metronome system, he discussed that it's just a really waste of time to, when you learn a new phrase or you learn a new arpeggio or something like that, because in your first year you're going to soak all this up. You need to learn diminished arpeggios, you need to learn how to connect them to different major and minor arpeggios, you need to connect them, how to connect them to all these types of scales. And it's really a matter of just let the metronome ticking away, and you just practice them and endlessly drilling them just into your muscular memory, right? Your muscle memory. So it's really important that you use the metronome. And that's and then leads me to my fourth point, is that you need to have fun. You need to have fun whilst transcribing. So it's fun/transcribing. The way I do is just I just learn the educational stuff. So I learn all the arpeggios. So I have like a basic idea of the neck, and then I also just transcribe things, because you can say, let's for instance, we're in like minor swing, like 3 chords. People say, well, I don't need to learn. I don't need to transcribe, right? Because I just know, oh yeah, over the A minor chord, I need to play an A minor arpeggio. Because, but let's be frank, when you start in your first year, you don't have any knowledge about what you're doing. You don't have any knowledge about what sounds good, and it's better to just copy people that have been playing the style for like 25 years or something like that, than to make up your own licks, which are absolutely 100% going to sound worse than the licks that Adrien Woniard play or Polish Schaefer, right? So if, for instance, I would never come up with. Okay, I messed up near the end. That's it. That's a really difficult lick by Adrien Woniard. I'm not gonna cut it out. So yeah, it's really important that you that you listen to solos like Django Reinhardt. And so on, that you like transcribe solos like I'm doing that. I just learned solos from Adrien Woniard, from Django Reinhardt, from Joshua Stefan. I just picked my favorite guitarists, and you're going to put the video on like 0.25 speed, and then you're going to note for note learn those solos. It's just drastically going to improve your vocabulary. You really need to stress on vocabulary, and that will definitely drastically improve your guitar playing as well, and your overall drive to learn the style and learn the instrument, right? And it needs to be fun. And why does it? You really need to love the lines that those people play, because you're going to spend hours, I mean like hours and hours and hours, just trying to play those licks, because especially the style that I play, which is jazz manouche, there isn't such thing as like beginner licks. When you copy a certain guitarist, it's a very virtuoso style, right? So it's really fast and really virtuoso. So if you want to play those licks at a certain speed, you really have to practice hours with a metronome trying to copy those licks. Excuse me. So pick something that is fun. And then it leads me to my final point, which is I use social media to my advantage. And the reason being is that these social media apps are designed by really clever individuals that want to... it's free, but it's actually not free. They really want to make you as addicted as possible to these apps. And they use like science and psychology to do this. For instance, Instagram, when you get like likes on Instagram, the color of the heart symbol is it is specifically designed to like get a dopamine release in our brains and to activate like a primal part in our brains to make us feel appreciated and validated from like a tribal perspective, right? It's really interesting how they do that. So we can use that to our advantage and really like upload videos to social media and then get the dopamine response. But I have I've used social media and I've dissected social media in like 3 components. So if you have your minor goals, your medium goals, and your major goals, right? So let's go over the minor goals. The minor goals are your daily goals that you're going to upload to the story feature on Instagram or TikTok. And these goals are like, for instance, if I have to transcribe, for instance, a solo by Django Reinhardt, right? On the standard honeysuckle rose, for instance, it goes like... It goes like that, and for instance, I could just upload that part to my story, and that would be considered a minor goal. So you can get that on the story, and you can like show to people, oh yes, I play guitar. Look at me, I'm playing the guitar, and that way you get like some sort of dopamine response in your brain that you want to do it more. It's like a goal. So it's not like, it doesn't feel like dry practice each time or each day you have to pick up the instrument, because again, that consistency is really hard to maintain. And if you don't feel like practicing, then it's not practicing. you're making a video for your Instagram story. That sounds way more appealing than, oh, I have to practice stupid arpeggios for the coming 2 hours and I don't want to do this. So you also, every time you have like a goal in mind and you have a minor goal, the minor goals are just to get to your medium goals, and your medium goals are like the bulk of what you're going to be producing on social media. So you need to get a mic and all the software and stuff like that, so you can record some decent audio like I'm doing. And then you're going to record shorts. Shorts and Instagram Reels are your medium goals. And medium goals are, for instance, in Honeysuckle Rose, just one entire run through the chord progression is considered a medium goal, or it can be even less. So it can be 20, 30 seconds, 45 seconds. Well, it's just medium goal is maximum 1 minute of you playing and posting it like an Instagram Reel and an Instagram or YouTube short, something like that. Medium, that's a medium goal. So every time when you practice, you have a specific goal in mind, and that is, I'm going to, and that is two things. You're each day you're working towards recording a medium goal. So, firstly, each day you're working towards recording a minor goal, so stuff posting on your Instagram story, and recording a medium goal. And medium goals, like I said, posting it on Instagram Reels. So every day you're like, I'm not practicing some dull, because I'm not practicing some dull part of a solo, like with a metronome, because you have to practice all this stuff really slowly with a metronome, like. And it's really boring to do, so you want to have some sort of motivation to do this stuff each day, because our brain is really wired to be you really need to have some sort of instant dopamine fix that every time you can look forward to, and social media really provides that. And we want to get as addicted as possible to social media, because our brains as humans haven't really developed from the tribal period. So really, it's really need to use that towards our advantage, and really need to use like social media addiction to our advantage. We need to get as addicted as possible to these apps, because the people that created this had that in mind, to get me as addicted as possible. Because when I upload a medium goal on social media, I can see like the likes and the reactions on it. It's very possible, it's very positive, and that creates like that dopamine response to my brain. I feel really positive. I'm getting some positive feedback. I'm really feeling love from the tribe. So that is the sort of feel I want to emulate, right? And I'm getting really addicted to these social media apps, but in turn, I'm also getting addicted to, yes, that's right, I'm getting addicted to playing and practicing my instrument, which is the goal that I want. So I just use social media to my advantage in that way. And then the third type of goal, the major goal, which I haven't discussed already, is when you take, for instance, you do on a standard like minor swing, you have done like 4 medium goals on that standard, and now you're going to group all those medium goals together and create like a 3-minute long jazz solo, and those are your major goals, and you're going to record that to YouTube or some other social media. To all your social media, you're just going to upload that. And those are your major goals. And then I have used all these techniques, and especially social media, to really have that daily incentive to practice every day. And it really is, social media is the most important thing on the list. It really gives you that daily incentive. It really gives you that dopamine fix, because I'm not elevated or transcended above like basic human biology, right? When I see the like symbol, the scientists have conducted the research. I'm not excluded from that. When I see the like symbol, I get a dopamine fix, and that means that I want to practice guitar more. So I really like that. I really like that aspect of social media and how you can use that to your advantage. And that I've really stacked that in different groups, like the minor, the medium, and the major goals, to eventually lead to the major goals. And the major goals is, of course, to to play a 3-minute solo on a song, because why do we want to play guitar? Well, because it's fun, and we want to jam with people, and we want to like improvise with other musicians and guitarists, and that is really the goal. So I've devised like this practice routine and this key bullet points and key elements to how I practice the instruments, so I can get as much practice hours as I can, or even when I don't want to or don't feel motivated, because you have to have some certain degree of discipline when doing this, right? So to get as much progression out of myself and out of the instrument. And social media is a really important aspect in that. So eventually, I'm just always working on. Oh shit! I don't hope that this falls down. I'm always working on those minor goals, those medium goals, and grouping the medium goals together, creating eventually a solo of old transcriptions or licks that I've made myself, and that is really a key element to my progress. So, well, that was it. That was it actually. I haven't got any more to say. Those 5 components are really were really important in my first year. Year of practicing jazz, swing jazz, whatever you want to call it. That was it. I see you in the next video. Cheers.